Hi, I'm Jeff Nader Prample. I'm sure my group already introduced themselves, but I am also part of the group, and unfortunately I'm not able to make it today. I'll be going over the problem overview and the problem statement, and just giving a general motivation for why we did this project. Alright, our project is on K-NN classification, which is a very simple but powerful type of classification algorithm. Basically, the first thing I want to talk about is what classification is. So a classification algorithm looks at unknown objects and tries to determine what class that unknown object belongs in depending on some attributes. So it does this by first looking at known objects, which is called a training set, and it compares the attributes of the known objects to the attributes of the unknown objects. The actual comparison that's being done depends on the algorithm, and there's many different algorithms for classifying data. Related to classification is clustering, which doesn't have a training set, but rather it looks at unknown data and tries to classify it into different groups, not based on known classification. So what examples, use cases are there for classification and clustering? First, classification plays a big role in research. For my research at Cincinnati Children's, we looked at gene expression data from a variety of cells, and without any trained data, so this is clustering, we attempted to cluster the data based on its gene expression, with the hope that we'd be able to classify the cells into different cell types appropriately. Before this is done actually manually, so specialists would have to spend hours looking at all the data, hundreds of data, and being able to look at color maps and be able to see, all right, is this cell this type or is this cell another type? So we're hoping that the algorithm, the learning algorithm that we developed would be actually faster to do and make it easier actually on the specialists. Another way this could be used is classification could be used in the industry, outside the research. For example, industry companies could look at ways like a history of what the user buys or a history of sites that the users navigated to in order to deliver better advertisements. This already happens online, so if you go if cookies find out that you're actually going to sites like home and decor, they might give you advertisements that go more with the home, like appliances or something like that. Whereas if you're going to motor things like that, like cars, it might give you advertisements for motor supplies, things like that. So now I want to go into how, what our project is using for the data sets. So our project actually looks at two different data sets. The first one is a random one that we generate using Python. And basically it's thousands of attributes and 1,000 of different data sets, or different known objects, and thousands of different unknown objects. And we run in Python, or we actually use Java to create that data set, and we run it through our program to see how fast the serial version compares to the parallel version. And the other one we actually use to evaluate is this thing called the General Social Survey, which is actually done every year in the United States in order to see all the attitudes and behaviors of American citizens to see how they change from year to year. And we're actually going to try to predict what the political party of an individual is depending on different attributes that a person has. These might include things like perceived socioeconomic rank in society, hours spent on email, words on vocab score, age, hours worked per week, and maybe even household income. So we'll put all that data together and hopefully could generate predictions based on that clustering result. All right, so next we're going to go over how K-NN works. K-NN is a classification algorithm that finds the first K items that are closest to the unknown object in question, and then it finds a class that actually has the majority of the items that the majority of the items belong to. And actually, Nuthapul will go into more details on how that works by going over the serial implementation.